name's Rhiannon from Blue Dog Board Games. Today I'm going to do a solo playthrough of the little card game called Mr. Cabbagehead's Garden. So this is a little game where you are drawing some vegetable cards and planting them somewhere in your garden. You are then going to have some nosy neighbours that are going to be poking around in your garden when you're on holiday, trying to disrupt your garden so their garden is in a better state than yours, so then they will get the grand prize for the best garden at the end of the year. Pesky neighbours, hey. So we're all set up ready to go, and let's get going. So we have got 4 neighbour tiles drawn out. On the other side you've got their artwork, but unfortunately they have put the descriptions of their action on the non-big artwork side, but that's fine. So we've got Carl Rotabarge, or is it Rotabarge? Rotabarge? I don't know. Anyway, so is insecure about his height and refuses to be neighbourly to pretentious tall vegetables. So he will always choose to take the one bean, salsify or carrot with the lowest vegetable number. If there's no effect, otherwise, if there's none of those in our garden. We've got the Duke and Duchess Peapod. They will not accept anything but the best. They will always choose to take the highest card with the vegetable card with the highest vegetable number. We got the furry radishers. They are always looking for the next fashionable trend. So they are going to remove the vegetable card with the highest vegetable number from the next set of 3 cards that are drawn and revealed. The player plants one of the 2 remaining vegetables for free, not spending any bees, and revealing neighbour tokens according to the neighbour number on the other one. And we got, finally, Lord Carrot Body. Does not like it when other vegetables are planted next to carrots. So he's going to take the vegetable with the highest vegetable number adjacent to a carrot. If there are no carrots in the garden or no carrots are adjacent to any other vegetable, he will take the vegetable with the highest vegetable number. So we'll just go through, when those conditions activate, I'll explain what they sort of do as we go along. We also got 3 little bee tokens in our supply, and we've got 3 in our beehive. They're like a little bit of a currency in the game. Okay, so to start the game, we draw 3 cards from this stack. We've got a lettuce, pepper, and a pumpkin. So if we wanted to take the card on the right-hand side, that gives us an extra bee from the beehive. So we just take the bee and pop it into our supply. If we wanted to take the middle card, that doesn't cost us anything, and we also don't gain a bee. But if we wanted to take the card on the left-hand side, we have to pay a bee. So one of our bees goes back in the beehive, and then we can plant that card. So let's think about what we want to do. I want to sort of minimise the number of neighbour tokens that are going to come out, but there's 1 neighbour token going to come out on each card, so that's absolutely fine. So let's think about other things. Basically, we're just trying to score as many points as possible in this game, but we need to be mindful of how many cards of each type there are, because you score with adjacency. So putting carrots next to carrots are going to score you more points for carrots. Any singular vegetables at the end of the game will not score you any points. So you always need to make sure that you're trying to match your vegetables next to each other as much as possible. So I think I'm going to go for let's go with the pumpkin. Let's go for the pumpkin. So because it's on the right-hand side, we gain a bee into our supply. No, we're not clearing them yet. We're going to plant it somewhere. So you plant your cards in a 6x3 grid. The grid itself is not fixed in terms of length or height until you've planted that 6th one in your row or your 3rd one in your column. So basically, if you've got 2 rows, you can then plant your 3rd row either above or below your rows that you've already planted. There is a harder variant where you can fix it at the beginning of the game, but I'm just going to play the normal version where it's not fixed and you can sort of adjust it as you go. So I'm just going to pop that somewhere in the middle. We've got certain scoring criteria as well, so we're going to be trying to satisfy certain scoring criteria. The biggest one, which is going to earn us 30 points at the end of the game, is if we have rows. Each row have exactly 3 types of vegetable in it, but each type of vegetable is only present in 1 row. All right, so happy with that pumpkin over there, I think. And then you look to determine how many neighbour tokens we're going to be drawing. it's the highest vegetable number. So these little black, you probably can't see it very well, but there's little black numbers in the left-hand side. The highest vegetable number is, so this is the pepper for 44, and it tells you here how many tokens you draw from the bag. So we draw one. So let's draw one of these, and these correspond to all of these neighbours that we've got, and we have drawn a Duke and Duchess Peapod. So we just draw that there. At the end of the round, there's 3 rounds in the game. Whoever has the most neighbour tokens by them will resolve the effect or their negative action on you. If multiple neighbours have the same amount of tokens drawn, then there's no effect whatsoever. So you're basically trying to balance out between all the neighbours how many tokens you draw. These guys just go into the discard pile, and then we draw 3 more. Oh, we got some carrots. So carrots are the most populous of vegetable in the game, I believe, with 9 cards in the deck. We've got another pumpkin, which would be nice because we can start getting some adjacency. I don't know whether to go for that mixed plot because it's quite difficult to get. Shall I give it a go? We'll try it, shall we? Let's try it. So I'm going to take the pumpkin and pop that straight next to the other pumpkin. Now, the highest vegetable number is 80 on this carrot, so we draw 1 token from the bag. Give it a shuffle. Okay, we've got a Carl Rotabarga. Rotabarga? I don't know what this vegetable is. No, we are drawing some more cards. Interesting. So this guy, if we draw more tokens with him, he's going to be choosing beans, salsify or carrots. So I want to try and avoid beans if I can. Highest vegetable number. That doesn't matter about the vegetables in your garden. And this is highest vegetables next to carrots. So if we can avoid beans, salsify and carrots, that would be good. And we've got some high number of tokens here. So I think I either want to go with the radish or the turnip. If I go for him, we'll be drawing 3. If I go for him, we'll be drawing 3. So let's just go for maybe the highest scoring one. You're allowed to look at your discard pile at any time, and we haven't drawn any turnips yet. So I think I'm going to go with a turnip, and that also gains me a B into my supply. And I think I'm going to pop this somewhere in the top row. So this is the highest vegetable number, so we draw 3 tokens. Oh, we've got a Lord Carrot body. And another Duke and Duchess Peapod. And the Furwick radishes. So it's roughly even, so that's okay. There we go. So we've got some more beans and salsify, so we really want to try and avoid them. So I'm definitely eyeing up that pumpkin on the left-hand side. Yeah, I don't think there's any 2 ways about it. Let's definitely go for the pumpkin, which means we have to pay a B. And I want to try and keep them all in the same row. So we're just going to pop him here. Highest vegetable number is 38, so we draw 2 neighbour tokens. Come on, let's be not a peapod, please. Ooh. Carl's coming out. Just going to call him Carl, not the Rotabarga or whatever that veggie is. Oh no. Okay. And 3 more. So I believe this is the last vegetable we're planting before we go on holiday. Yeah, there we go. So we're planting a vegetable. At the moment we've got him going to be activated, which are the beans, salsify and carrots. So we're okay at the moment because we don't have beans, salsify or carrots. So I think we might be all right. Now, what do I want? Do I want the radish? If I go for this one, we'll be drawing 1 token. that would be quite good, I think. Or if we go for this one, we'll be drawing 3. Do I want to be drawing lots of tokens or just 1? I don't really know what the chances are. I want to draw 1 of him to cancel both of these guys out. Actually, I want to be drawing 1 token because these guys then won't activate. He probably will activate. And if I draw the 1 and it's his, that will just cancel that out. Okay, I've worked it out. So I want to draw this one. I think, how many pumpkins are there? If I pop this somewhere in here, no, we're going to start our second row now. Pop it somewhere in the second row. We are drawing 1 token. There we go. The furry radishes, and those going to discard. So we are now going on holiday. So we just discard this card, but what happens is you have a look to see which neighbour has got the most tokens drawn, and it's this guy. So he activates, but we don't have any beans, salsify, or carrots. So it doesn't matter what he's doing. So if there are none of these in the garden, there is no effect. So that's perfect. That's what you're trying to do. You're just trying to work out which is going to be the worst effect on you. Try and balance the drawing of tokens so you sort of offset any chance of those really nasty actions happening, because they're going to probably remove just 1 vegetable from your garden, and that's the only negative effect, but it'll basically just stop you scoring as much at the end of the game. So you pop all those tokens back in the bag, give them a little mix, and you start your next round. So we're back from holiday, and you start drawing. So beans, I don't want beans, and carrots, and a lettuce. Maybe I'll go for the lettuce then. Maybe. And then we'll be drawing 1 token. I'm just a bit concerned about Lord Carrot Body. So if there are no carrots in the garden or no carrots are adjacent to any other vegetable, he's going to take the vegetable with the highest vegetable number, which at the moment would be my turnip. I don't want him to take my turnip because there's only 3 turnips in the entire game. So maybe I will take the carrot, and so I can then start to manipulate what he takes. I think that might be sensible, and I'm going to plant that. Oh, I'm going to plant that in the 3rd row. So I need some to put these guys somewhere. I'm going to put them in my 3rd row. So now the rows are fixed. You know what? I'm going to pop them somewhere in the middle, because I'm going to try and get one of these scoring pieces where there's 2 at the top, 2 at the top, and then 2 identical ones in the middle. And that will give me 14 points at the end of the game. Okay, so highest vegetable number is 48 for the lettuce. So we draw 2 tokens. So let's pop them out of the way. Mr. Carrot Body. Ooh, double Mr. Carrot Body. Got a lettuce and a carrot. Double carrot. Okay. So I guess we're going to go for a carrot, and we may as well go for this carrot over here, because that's going to give us a B. So I'm just going to plant that one next to my current carrot. And that means we're drawing 2 tokens. Oh no! Mr. Carrot Body is on the warpath. Furry radishes. I don't want peppers or salsifys. We're going to have to go with the pepper. But then he's going the bean, salsify and carrots, so... But it's the lowest vegetable number, so he would definitely be taking this salsify. And there's only 3 salsify in the whole game. So that would be really detrimental if you took that one. So I'm going to go with the pepper. This pepper over here. I think I might try and stick them over here. Which means highest vegetable number is 89 on this pepper. 1 token is going to be drawn. Oh yes, the radishes, okay. We're balancing out slightly. Another carrot, rutabaga, and beans. I think we might go for the rutabaga, because if I want to try and get this mixed plot, you can't actually fill up your whole plot. So I'm just conscious of how many vegetables I'm going to be planting in the whole game. I want to try and make sure I can, you know, if nothing bad's going to happen, still plant my 3 types of vegetable in every row. So I'm going to go with the rutabaga. And I think I might actually stick that here. Highest vegetable number are beans with 3 tokens. Come on, let's balance all of this all out a little bit. Pea pods. Carl. Okay. Radishes. So this might be where we're going on holiday again. Sort of lost count. Oh, we got 2 rutabaga. Yeah, so we're going on holiday. So if we take this rutabaga, we're going to be drawing 2 tokens. That could be quite good though. I think that might be worth a shot. So I'm going to take this one. Ooh, actually. No, I'm going to take this middle one because I don't need to gain any more bees. I've got the maximum number of bees. If you have all your bees at the end of the game, that earns you some more points. And that will remove the highest of the, or 2 token card from the game. So I will be, this rutabaga on the right hand side will have the highest vegetable number. And so I'll be only be drawing 1 token. So I think I might do that. Plant him over there, draw 1 token, and hope that it's a pea pod or a carp. Oh no, Mr. Carrot Body. So, discard that one. He is going to take the vegetable with the highest vegetable number adjacent to a carrot. So, this one is adjacent to a carrot. This is 72. And we got 70, 47. So, this carrot is going to remove this carrot from the game, which is not too bad because the carrots are I believe the lowest scoring vegetable because they are the most common. So as long as I can manage to find another carrot in the deck, I'll be okay. Off you go in there. Let's give you a little shuffle. So how are we doing? We've got 2 vegetables in that row, 2 vegetables in that row, 2 vegetables in that row. So as long as we can get an extra vegetable in each row, we should be getting our mixed plot. But at the same time, we're still not scoring the peppers, the carrots, the radishes, or the turnips because they're singular vegetables at the moment. All right, we have a radish. I don't want the salsify. I don't really want another pumpkin either. Maybe I do want a salsify. I think I might have to go for the salsify for vegetable diversity. And that will allow me to draw 3 tokens. That might be the better option. Or shall I chance it? I don't know. I'm gonna go with the pumpkin because that's 4 pumpkins in a row. You're gonna be scoring for every pumpkin, which will be really, really good. I'm going for that one, which means salsify's highest vegetable number, 3 tokens to draw. You guys can go. Carl, Peapod, and Lord Carrot Body, at least it's equal. So now we absolutely have to go for another vegetable. I think. They're so tempting though. Yeah, I shouldn't have done that because now basically my turnip's not going to score. Yeah, that was a bit of a mistake. Oh well. The reason why my turnip's not going to score is because I've only got one slot here that I can pop a turnip in, but then I'll only have 2 types of vegetable in my plot. So I'd have to, in order for my turnip to score, I'd have to pop one here. But then if you remember, to get the mixed plot, you don't want the same vegetable in multiple rows. So I could sort of sacrifice that one now, if I think I might not get it. I wonder if that's a better idea, to not go for the mixed plot. I'm not going to go for the mixed plot. I'm going to take this turnip and plant him here. We'll go for that. 87 is our highest vegetable number, and we draw 1 token. Lord Carrot Body again. That's a shame I didn't get my mixed plot. Ooh, interesting. So my peppers at the moment are not going to be scoring because he's on his own. So if I grab this one, they'll be worth 8 because they're worth 4 each. However, if I get my rutabaga, that will be, I could get him adjacent to this one, and that will be scoring me 15 in total for them. But I think it might actually be more beneficial to ensure that my pepper scores. So I might pop you here and then draw 2 neighbour tokens. Oh, this Carrot Body has got it out for me. Carrot, good. And a carrot and a beans. So I'm going to go for the carrot because I want to score carrots. And I'm going to pop him right here because then I've got, I can't remember what it's called now. What is it called? It's a promenade. So I need like 2 pairs in the corner and then a pair in the middle. Or you can mirror it, so a pair up there and then matching pairs down in the corners. So we're drawing 1 token from the beans, highest number. Come on, let's beat the very big radishes. Or any of the others. There we go, equal still. Okay, last vegetable we're planting. Interesting. Okay, so we can either grab the carrot and then that will score us even more, or we can grab the turnip, which is going to be worth an extra 8 points. We've got all of our bees, so that's good. I think that might be our best option then. So let's go for our turnip, which means we'll be drawing 1 neighbour token. Just 1 neighbour token, because we are now on holiday. And let's hope it's either pea pod or the radishes. No, it's Mr. Carrot Body. Oh, he's a little sod, that one. However, he will take a vegetable with the highest vegetable number adjacent to a carrot. So we've got 15, 47, 17 and 70. So he's actually going to take the radish. And my radish was not scoring anything. So that's absolutely fine. I don't mind him taking my radish. And that is actually the end of the game. So let me just pop all of this away and we will go to final scoring. So scoring, there are a few different bits you need to score. So first of all, you score your vegetables. So you score every vegetable type that is adjacent to at least one or more of its own vegetable. So, and that is orthogonal only. So I've got 4 pumpkins that are adjacent to each other, and then you times that 4 by the scoring number, which is 6. So 6 times 4 is 24, so I've got 24 for the pumpkins. I really might need a calculator. And then, yeah, bear with me, I'm going to go and get a calculator. So I couldn't find a calculator, but I've got a good old-fashioned pen and paper and my brain. So 6 times 4 for the pumpkins is 24. And then my turnips, I've got 3 turnips all adjacent to each other and their point value is 8. So 8 times 3 is also 24. Rutabaga are worth 5 points each. I've got 2 next to each other, so that's 10. Peppers are worth 4 each. I've got 2, so that's 8 points. And then my carrots are worth 3 points each and I've only got 2, so 6. So let's work that out so far. So that's 72. And then we score the awards. So as I said, there's like a few different scoring criteria. They're all on these little cards. So 4 corners, if we've got the same vegetable in all 4 corners, we do not. The avenue, you need the same vegetable on the very left column and the very right column. We do not have that either. We do have the promenade. So I have 2 pumpkins here and I have 2 turnips here and I have 2 identical vegetables in the middle of the very bottom. You can reflect it. And so that gives me an extra 14 points. Then you have the option of, or the Monopoly, which is at least 5 vegetables in the garden of any one type. I do not have that. Unfortunately, the pumpkins, there are only 4 of them in the whole game. But finally, we've got the bee's knees. So all 6 bees are in your supply at the end of the game, and all 6 bees were in my supply, so I gain an extra 6 for that. So that is an additional 20. So I have got 92 in total, which is not too bad. Where are the rules? It actually gives you a ribbon value. So I've got 92. I've got the yellow ribbon and cordial applause. So that's not too bad. It goes from 0 to 50, which is, the bottom category, and then 126 or more you get a blue ribbon, and rousing hurrah. So 92, I needed 100 to get into, or 101 to get into the next category. That is Mr. Cabbagehead's garden. I hope you enjoyed that playthrough, and I will let you know my thoughts on the game in just a moment. So a couple of thoughts on Mr. Cabbagehead's garden. This is a game that I picked up on Kickstarter after hearing a couple of people talk about it from a solo perspective before, saying that it was a nice lightweight game, easy to get to the table, nice and relaxing, and so I saw it available. I believe it was quite difficult to find, or it is still difficult to find because I don't believe they publish it in like big numbers, and so I just decided to pick it up and give it a go. I did play it on Tabletop Simulator, I think, just very briefly. And yeah, it's a really lovely, light-hearted game that you can play without too much stress. It's really fun to try, and the ebb and flow of whether you're going to gamble to wait for those vegetables to come out and really try and push for those really big hitting point setups with your promenade and your Monopoly, where you try and get all of your vegetables side by side in certain formations and things like that. That's really fun. One thing that I originally didn't like too much about the game was the fact that you have the sort of threat of your neighbours when you're drawing the tokens, and when you go on holiday, whoever gets the most amount of tokens, you're resolving their effect. I didn't like the fact originally when you had the same amount of tokens on multiple neighbours, you would just disregard them and nothing would happen. I thought that was a bit anticlimactic at first, but then I played the game a little bit more and I learned to appreciate that was quite a clever mechanic into sort of making you just check what vegetables you are picking and planting in your garden, because that may influence the number of tokens that you're going to be drawing from the bag. And so you may, if you've got like a really equal number of tokens across the board, you may not want to draw that many because you want to try and keep them equal so there is no effect. And actually that does sort of change the way that the game feels a little bit from a typical game maybe, and it also, I think, actually makes it a bit more of a relaxing game rather than one where somebody is going to be like trying to do something really bad to your garden the whole time, which, when something negative is happening to your game, that's not always a very nice feeling. So yeah, I have got over that bad feeling. I appreciate what it's doing now. Probably the strangest thing about the game is the art. As you can probably see on the box, it is anthropomorphic vegetables. I don't like that at all. I think it's a bit creepy. It reminds me of an adaptation of James and the Giant Peach that I watched when I was a child, and that film really freaked me out, and I didn't like it. It made me feel very uncomfortable. But you don't have to actually look at it, because you usually have your tiles on the side where it explains their sort of effect to you. So just turn it around and then you can't really see what it's doing. But actually the vegetable artwork on all the other tiles has not got faces on or anything, and it's actually really pretty. It's very sort of vintage looking. It's like a bit of a watercolor vintage painting, and it's actually quite pretty. And on the backs of the cards as well, it looks like some diagrams that you may find in like an old book. So yeah, I really like the art apart from the anthropomorphic faces. And that is something that a lot of people comment on. I know that a lot of people are put off by this game by that, but actually you don't see a lot of the faces in the game, so you can probably get over that. The only other thing to mention about this game is when I bought it off of Kickstarter, I did buy the standard version, and I can't quite remember the differences between the standard and the deluxe version now. But my version, basically you have 6 neighbour tokens with every neighbour. They basically just came, you punched everything out, and there was nowhere to put them. You just put all the tokens in one bag. So basically you had, how many neighbours do we have? We have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10. So that's 60 tokens in one bag. So every time you wanted to get this little tiny game off the shelf, you had to sift through 60 tokens to then try and remove 6 of them, and then do that 4 times to get your 4 neighbours. And that was just so frustrating, and it was actually one that I played a few times when I first received it. Then I decided I really couldn't be bothered to like sift through all of that and try and find all the tokens. So it didn't come off the shelf for a long time. So now I have sorted each of the neighbours into their own separate bags and got their tokens alongside them. And it's still, for the size of the game, it's still a bit of a faff to try and like sort all the tokens out. So it may be a case that if you want to actually play multiple games of this in a row, you just don't change the neighbours around. Because if you did want to change the neighbours around, you have to take all of the tokens out and resort them all out, and you know, that takes about the same amount of time as it does to play the game. So that's my only complaint. I wish there was just some way of actually organising them a little bit better, just so you can just sort of throw it out on the table and play it a lot quicker, because it is just such a small box, quick game. But you know, that is very minor. And just to mention that this does not come in the base game box. I nicked this from another board game. In addition, there are a couple of very small expansions in this game. You've got the addition of crickets, which are little pests that come out and jump on various vegetables in your garden, and at the end of the game, your vegetables that the crickets are on will be worth less points. You've also got the roses that come out, which are cards which you can plant in your garden as well, and then any vegetables that are under them, I believe, are worth more points. And so that's just a nice couple of really small additions, no real like heavy extra rules to remember. That just helps to increase the replayability of this game. And finally, as I said, there are a good number of neighbours in this game, so I believe there's about 12 in total. And they all have completely different powers, whether it's taking a vegetable of the highest vegetable number, or whether it's taking something that's adjacent to something else. They all work quite differently, but they're not too complicated to sort of understand, so that increases replayability as well. They all look as scary as one another as well. But yeah, so overall, I really like this game. I really like what it's trying to do in terms of just like adjacency rules, and you've got your additional scoring criteria that changes as the game progresses, according to what vegetables are then torn out of your garden from your neighbours. And yeah, overall it's just a really lovely, light-hearted and very pretty game if you could ignore the faces staring at you. So I hope you enjoyed my playthrough today, and thank you very much for watching my video. If you enjoyed my video today, please subscribe to my channel and you will be informed of any other future releases that I put out. And otherwise, have a lovely rest of your day, and I will see you on the next video. Bye bye.